Hello everyone. So today we are going to build one create API using Spring Boot at the backend. Now this API is regarding a bookstore, an online bookstore, which would have fields something like book ID, book name, book author, and such fields which should be there in an create book API. Now let's go to Spring Initializer. Group name I'll give as bookstore. Same artifact bookstore. It's a jar 17, fine. In dependencies we'll have Spring Boot DevTools, Spring Web. Database we are using MySQL, so MySQL driver and JPA, Spring Data JPA. Alright, everything looks fine. I'll generate and save it on my desktop. Let's extract it and delete the zip version. Let's open it in NVim. We are not going to use any traditional IDEs here, just like Eclipse or IntelliJ IDEA. This is NVim. Let's look at the project structure. Bookstore, fine. Okay, so at the level where we have this bookstore application.java, we'll need few directories such as controller, service, repo and entity, where we'll have our DTO classes. So generate first controller, service, or I should have said it book service. It's an artifact. Let's rename it book controller. Book entity and book repo. In controller, let's create a Java file for controller layer. Book controller.java. Fine. Package is com dot book controller is class. Now we are not going to integrate it with the front end. We're going to test it with using the Postman client. So for that, let me why am I not getting any suggestions? Am I doing anything wrong? Let me try one thing. Let's first clean install it. Oh, is it a Gradle? Arey yaar, I should have generated a Maven one. Okay, no worries. Let's delete this one. Okay, Maven, everything will be as it was before. Generate, save as, same at desktop. Extract all, extract, delete the zip version. Now before starting, let's clean install it and open it in nvim. Build failure, entity manager factory. I am suspecting one thing. Let's check our POM. So here if we see, we have this Spring Boot starter JPA. Let's comment this, it's not needed now. Let's comment MySQL connector as well. What else we have? Okay, fine. Let's save it. Now let's try to clean and install again. Hopefully it works, it builds this time. Okay, build success. src main java from bookstore. Okay, now as we did earlier, let's create a directory for controller, book service, and then book repo. Now in book controller, let's create one java file for controller layer dot java. com.bookstore dot and it is a book let's annotate this class with rest. Yeah, see, this time I'm getting the sessions. Okay, rest controller. Now let's test it with the simple get API first. So for that I'll create one function which would return a string get name let's annotate it with get mapping. Which would return this is my name. Rest controller. Okay, everything is fine. Let's run this project. Spring Boot run. Okay, it started running on 8080 and our endpoint is get name. Let's try to run it. Localhost 8080 get name, this is my name, and if I update it, this is not my name. Fine, it is working. Now we are not going to work with this get API, this get endpoint. We'll need one post API. So for that we'll use post mapping, and we will say post or save book. Now this will as well, first initially only while creating, let's mention that this function is not returning anything. Post book, but before, not post, let's give same function name as well, save book. Okay, now in the service let's create one Java file, Java class, book service.java, packages com dot book service, book service. Since this is a service layer, let's annotate it with @service. And this service layer will have a function called save book. Let's split the screen. Okay, so in controller, by using @autowired, we'll create an instance for this service layer, book service, book service. And we'll call it here book service dot save. Why am I not getting this suggestion? Maybe because I haven't given any
with YouTube Premium, watch ad-free videos.
Access modifier here.
On the YouTube Music app. That's right.
Let's create it.
2 apps.
Click.
Set up automatic downloads and watch offline, in the background and on the go. Try 1 month free of charge.
Okay, now I'm getting. We'll also need one entity. Let's say book entity.java. Entity public class book entity. We'll annotate it with @entity scan. No, with @entity. Maybe I'm thinking we did comment out that JPA layer, right? The JPA dependency. Let's unannotate it. Sorry, uncomment it. Not MySQL, this one. Let's see whether we are getting that annotation. Yes. Now we'll have 3 fields or 3 parameters for this entity, book entity. First one is private int book ID. Okay, book ID. Next is private string book name, book author. I think that's fine for now. Now let's use ChatGPT to generate getters and setters, or yeah, we have this function here, generate. Fine. Now this book ID will be our primary key, and there is something strategy generate, yeah, generation type. Generate the value, and it will have strategy generation type as identity. Book name, book author. Okay, that is fine. Now I can close this. In the repo layer, let's create a book repo as well. This also will be an interface. Package will be com.bookstore book repo public interface book repo. It will extend JPA layer. JPA repository, yeah, and it will have two generics. First one is our entity class name, which is book entity, and second one is the data type of primary key, which is an integer in our case. We can quit it and open service controller. Similarly, like we have created the instance for service layer in controller layer, we will create an instance for repository instance of repository layer in the service layer here using @ annotation, @autoadd annotation, @autoadd, and what was the class name? Book repo, yeah, book repo, and this book repo will call dot save function array, book save function, which will have this entity, and this entity is nothing but our book function. Book entity, book entity, now this is giving a compilation error, which because we haven't passed any book entity here, but in the service layer we have mentioned that this function will receive a book entity. Now how can we have this from the Postman client? When we'll hit the request, it should be mapped with the entity layer that we have, @request body book entity book, and same we will pass here, book entity. Fine, save. Okay, now let's configure the database. Application.properties, spring dot data source dot URL and spring dot data source dot username and password. Now what is our URL? Copy JDBC connection. This is our URL. And one more thing, let's see what databases do we have. Show database. Okay, let's create one database. Create database online bookstore. Use online bookstore. Show tables. Show tables. Empty set. Okay, it doesn't have any table yet. Here we'll pass our newly created database name. Did I quit it? Online bookstore. Yes, and in the username we have root, in the password as well we have root, and there is one more property, DDL auto or something. Let's pull it from ChatGPT. Give me DDL auto property for Spring project. Yes, this is the one. Let's save it. Oh, this is the target folder. No, I should not have mentioned these properties here. In the resources folder, yes, this is the one. Paste, yeah. Now fine. Let's check everything. This is my controller, this is my service, this is my okay, my controller, my service and my repo looks fine. Let's try to hit the API now. Let's quit it. Let's quit as well. Okay, is our application running? By the way, did we uncomment that JPA MySQL connector which we commented? Oh, we did not. Let's uncomment this as well. What is it saying?
Above a turquoise tide, the beauty of a just world, and the convenience of a lie. I tore down that picture. There is no other perfect life.
Let's run this project again.
Maybe something will survive. When hope makes you bleed, when life gets you down, there's all the love you need
Oh,
underground
something is wrong.
to make a way for the dark hearts to feel the love I found. There's all the love
Unable to
you
obtain isolated ZVC
need
connection.
underground.
Access denied for password. No. Which password is it talking about? SQL exception. Access denied for user using password. No. MNW clean install. Exclusions. Error creating bin with name entity manager factory defining class path resource auto configure unable to create request service. JDBC URL please set Jakarta persistence to reduce common cases for dialect. Uh, we have annotated with entity. Primary key is also has given. That is also given. Book repo looks good as well. Oh, okay. We haven't annotated with repository. Now let's first clean install it. Hopefully it runs now. No. Did I used this correct repository here? Steroid.
Hope lingers on after the one you love is gone. Thought I smelled your ghost in my winter coat. Our love became a void, another echo in the noise that
Book entity.
what we became. We could have been paradise, could have been you and I.
MySQL connector. Spring Boot DevTools. Root. Starter data JPA.
Some fires die. I meant no harm. We were both wrong. Moving on. I'm a monster.
Sorry. Error creating bean with name and data manager factor defining class path. Custom dialect implementation must be provided. Online bookstore, this is the same, right? Online books, online bookstore. Yes, this is fine. Okay, now let's ask our savior. The database URL is missing, database is not running, the driver is missing. No, database is running. Maybe I'm missing this property here. Let's use it. Now let's run the project again. Spring Boot run. Still let me first open SQL. This is the database we have created, online bookstore. Password is same. Root. Oh, अरे यार, I misspelled it here. What a silly mistake. Anyway, now let's again build it first. Yeah, now it started. Add port 8080. Alright, fine. Now using Postman client, we have to hit the endpoint which we have created, and that is save book. And which will have a body which will book ID is anyway auto incremented, book name and book author. name, let's see, yeah, this is one of the books which is my favorite. And Shivaji Sawant is the author. Book author, yes. And this is a post. Let's try to save it. Before that, if we look in our database, show tables, okay, book entity table is there. Select all from book entity, it has nothing. Now if we hit the request and again run this, see, the data is getting saved. Shivaji Sawant Mrityunjay. So that is how we can create API in Spring Boot at the backend. Now maybe later in the future we'll try to create or integrate this API with the front-end framework as well, like JSPs or React. So that is all from my end. Thanks.